Ladies and gentlemen, the moment has arrived. The Galahad tutorial is here! Thank you so much for coming out and checking the video out. This is Pendous with the Galahad tutorial. So I'm going to put the stats for Galahad up here on the screen. If you'd like to take a look at this a little bit longer, I'm only going to keep it on the screen for a few seconds. So go ahead and hit the pause button and resume the video when you're ready to go. So first we're going to take a look at Galahad Shield. We're going to start on the canyon map here. The shield slows you down if you engage it, so you can just turn sideways if you don't want to fire at the moment. And then when you need to go to fire, then you can kind of turn as you're beginning to engage somebody, and you can spin with the shield as it comes around to get yourself a little bit more protection. So we're moving in here, taking out that Rhino, taking out this Fury. This setup we're taking a look at right now with the Magnums and with the Orkan. This is a great setup. This is my second favorite setup for the Galahad. My first favorite is with the plasma, and that's with all plasma, and that's what we're going to take a look at towards the end of the video. So if you're interested in this, there's a couple of these right in a row right now that we're going to take a look at with the Magnums and with the Orkans. So this next match here, we're going to jump over to Shenzhen, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about battlefield management. So you see there, I just repelled that guy off of that little gap over there. And then I start engaging these guys that are in the middle, heading towards the center. So we clear them out. That leaves space for my teammates to engage. If I could give Galahad a title, I guess, he would be the Great Battlefield Manager. Galahad, with his speed and his potential durability and his firepower, he's really, really great at managing where the enemy is on the battlefield, bouncing from target to target, going and grabbing beacons. He's kind of your all-around go and get him kind of guy. So he's got really good firepower, not the most firepower out of anything, obviously. He's got a small health pool, so if you get hit by an entire death button, you're just totally dead from that. You're not partially dead, you're totally dead, unless you're able to dodge the rockets with his speed. So looking at the pros and cons of Galahad, a couple of the pros are that he has the highest speed out of any medium robot, unless you consider the Carnage when it's sprinting. But his top speed is 50 kilometers per hour, which is pretty impressive for a guy with this much firepower and with a physical shield built in. So you see here we're getting spawn raided by Team Odin here, and I'm just kind of bouncing around between targets here, keeping my head on a swivel. And that's something, like I said, since Galahad is the great battlefield manager, you really do have to keep looking around. So we've got that Lancelot coming in. We have this Rhino over here that needs to get cleared out. So I'm covered from behind. You want to make sure that you're keeping the enemy in front of you. You don't want them coming over to your sides or behind you because of Galahad's small health pool. If they do get over there, you need to make sure you get behind cover, get out of the way, obviously. You don't want to just stand there and take it like I see a lot of people doing with Galahad. That's why a lot of people don't like him or didn't like him initially. So my hope is to change your mind. So you see here we've taken out a couple Rhinos, and we've done some good work on 2 Lancelots, as well as a third Rhino before getting taken out. So here's another guy with the shield, and we're changing the weapon setup here a little bit. So this is what we here at my stupendous YouTube channel affectionately call the right-handed smack. Since all of Galahad's weapon hardpoints are on the right side, one of my subscribers, I asked everybody what we'd like to call this, since it's not quite a death button. Someone said the mini death button, which I really like a lot, but probably my favorite out of all of them is the right-handed smack. I just thought that was too great. So if you come and check out my videos and I'm running this, that's exactly what I'm going to call it, is the right-handed smack. So you see there, I was able to go grab that beacon over on the side there, which is a detriment to them for sure. Take out a couple of their guys and then move into center and help take out more guys while we defend center. So constantly moving around the battlefield, managing it, keeping your feet moving the entire time. Don't want to stand still with Galahad because, like we said, one of the pros of having Galahad is that he's fast. So if you're not using that, you're living beneath your robot privileges. So we're going to have a couple of videos here on the right-handed smack. So if this is the setup you're most interested in, this is what you're going to want to watch. I personally am not the biggest fan of this setup because I like being able to constantly fire, as with the plasma. And I really love the high damage output that the plasma affords, even though You know, there's a lot of bots running physical shields. I find that managing the battlefield, which is my favorite thing to do with Galahad, is much, much easier if you're set up just with plasma. And we're going to take a look at that here in a second. However, there's a lot to be said about having this set up. So even with my unleveled pins there, or pinatas and Orkans there, I'm able to do a pretty devastating amount of damage per salvo. If we're fully charged up, it's about 75,000 damage, and I'm not max level on my weapons or my bots. So now we're going to take a look at the plasma. This is what the rest of the video is going to focus on for our Galahad short-range tutorial. We're going to take a look at some mid-range options here in the future, but today I wanted to focus on the close-range stuff because I think that's where Galahad excels the best and is the most useful as, like I said, a battlefield manager. And as I said in this video that this clip is from, if you ever see a Lancelot and he's not facing you, you are obligated to fire upon it. You got to start chipping into that health pool there. So when you see here, switching between targets, keeping my feet moving, keeping cover between me and somebody else, using that hill as cover, I was able to go and take that Griffin down 100%, even though I wasn't fresh, and I'm still doing okay. So coming over here for a last kill and attempting a beacon grab, and then I get taken out before the beacon was there. So here, managing the bridge here, this is an important aspect of the Yamantau map. If you can manage this center point in the map, you can move the midpoint of the battle forward. So even though this is the center beacon, if you manage this spot correctly, you can move forward into the map. If you can get bots past this point like I'm doing right now, then all of a sudden the enemy loses a huge advantage. You're pushing them all the way back to their spawn point. And that's just good battlefield management. Regardless of the map you're on, or regardless of the battle you're on, you want to kind of shepherd the enemy team back to where their spawn point is, because that's the furthest point away that they are from any beacons and the most vulnerable that they are on the map. Alright, so like I said, a couple more videos here with the plasma variant of Galahad. So taking a look here, shielding a friend, always a good thing. You see that in the videos there that Pixonic posted when Galahad was released. I do that a lot. If I see a guy that's being fired upon and I'm close enough to do it, I'll manage the battlefield that way. I won't let them get the kill. I'll jump in front of it and let my shield eat some of that plasma, keep moving towards them, and put the pressure on them with my weapons. That's one of the amazing things about Galahad, is that he's able to have the shield up and not take any health damage into his regular health pool. Other thing here we want to look at is, you saw what I did there. I had a building behind me, so I couldn't move too far. But if you have rockets coming upon you, Galahad's fast enough to outpace most of the pinatas and the Orkans. So make sure that you're doing that when you're playing the game. Make sure that you're using his speed to its full advantage. So that's moving around the battlefield, as well as not just that, but also making sure that you're using that speed to outrun rockets and to get behind cover quickly, or to shield a friend. There's a lot of different ways that you can use that, and I'd love to hear the ways that you guys have used it in the past. Let me know what you guys think about it. Let me know what you've seen other people do effectively as you've watched Galahad on the battlefield. That's something we can all learn together here. So you see there, I got wiped out trying to take that center beacon. So here we are, pushing these guys off of the center beacon, and then using Galahad in his amazing beacon grabbing capacity. So moving into that center beacon, and then getting these guys, I'm trying to clear these guys off from the sides so that I can get the enemy back in front of me, like we've talked about before. Because Galahad, when you use him, you're going to find that you end up flanking the enemy a lot because he's so fast and he's got so much firepower. However, when flanking, make sure that you don't get flanked. Important thing to remember. It's just firing into that guy's shield. I don't think he was actually signed in there, or not signed in, but I think he had to take a break for a second. He's probably sneezing. Never shoot a guy when he's sneezing. That was kind of low. But anyways, so we'll take a look here at taking this rhino out. This is a clip that I showed at the beginning, but you just keep dancing around him. This is another way that you can use Galahad's speed, regardless of if it's a rhino or a Lancelot or whatever else. You keep those feet moving, keep the dance happening, and you're going to be able to outmaneuver the enemy and avoid a lot of damage, even into your physical shield. You're using that shield to ease some of the damage, but remember, it's not as powerful as the Rhino shield. If you look at the beginning of the video, it's only got about 200,000 hit points at max. So thank you guys so much for checking out the tutorial. If the tutorial helped you, don't forget to drop a comment below. Let me know how it helped you. If you don't like the video, please hit the dislike button and let me know why. I'd love to make the channel better because this is for you guys, and I appreciate all your amazing support. I hope you get a Galahad. I hope you love Galahad because I do.